Story 1. Mousa brunettes are typically low-key but can either relax on the couch in sweats or dress up in heels and makeup when they choose to. Story 2. I love guys who are wide. I don't mean fat or anything, but I appreciate those broad shoulders and a larger build. They provide the most therapeutic hugs, and I could just melt. I could witness a murder, but if I had a big man with his arms open, ready for a hug, I'd feel immediately soothed. Story 3 has to be brunette. I don't care about height because I'm small. However, my type is very specific when it comes to personality. I'm not looking for someone who looks exactly like Christian Bale, but guys who are even slightly similar to him are very attractive. Story 4. A human adult woman with an appealing face. Intellect and character matter more than physical preferences. Story 5. Thin and lanky and not conventionally attractive. Bonus points if you have a bump on the bridge of your nose. Story 6. For me, I prefer women with a thin to average body type. I need to be able to lift them, as I can manage up to 120 pounds. I am attracted to women who are darker than I am and prefer a natural look without lip fillers, breast augmentation, or cosmetic enhancements. I appreciate someone who is a little fit and active. The first thing I notice is the eyes, which I find to be the most attractive feature. A nice smile is a close second. Story 7. I'm gay, but I prefer larger guys with bellies. I used to be into skinny, muscular men, but as I've gotten older, I enjoy being around someone I can cuddle with. Story 8. Women who work out frequently, but also do not monitor their eating habits, may find some challenges. Story 9. Giant bearded men built like rugby players with thick beards. Safe to say my search is absolutely not going well. Someday. Story 10. As a gay bear, I really like gay bears. However, I am not picky and find nearly all men somewhat attractive. I just love men so much. Story 11. I'm black, but I don't really care about body types. I don't want someone who is supermodel thin or unhealthy. I prefer a slim or slim-thick look. I know I sort of contradicted myself, but you understand. Story 12. I'm not dating. I'm married, and my type reflects my wife's body. If I were to end up in the dating pool for some reason, that's the type I'd prefer. Someone in their mid-40s with a body that represents a person of that age who has had a couple of kids. It's just perfect in my book. Story 13. Lately, I have been attracted to Latina women. 10 years ago, it was Southern cowgirls. My taste changes all the time, I guess. Story 14. Dyed hair, tattoos, and piercings are always interesting to me. From a visual standpoint, I appreciate anything punk, alternative, gothic, or grunge. Story 15. Short white woman around 5 feet 3 inches. Blue eyes, voluptuous, and any weight between skeletal and covered in rolls. Of course, there's much more that contributes to what makes a woman my type, but since the question specifically asked about physical attributes. Story 16. Skinny girls, the same height, the same age or older by 2 to 3 years. I don't know if it's a physical feature, but a sweet voice is above all. Story 17. I like black hair, brown eyes, light brown complexion, a height of 6 feet, nice wide shoulders, big hands, and masculine features. However, I do not like facial hair or bushy eyebrows. Story 18. Brown or ginger hair, green or blue eyes. I'm not too concerned about breast size because all bodies are amazing, but there is such a thing as being too large, and the same goes for figures. A slim to average body shape is preferred, never obese. I'd be okay if she's slightly overweight as long as she's willing to work on it. I also prefer women from white and East Asian backgrounds, but I am open to all races. My top 3 countries when it comes to women are Ukraine, South Korea, and Germany. Story 19. Curvy and soft, it's beautiful, like the statues of ancient Greek goddesses. Redheads, especially with a natural look, are particularly striking. Story 20. Taller than me, I don't care by how much because I'm short anyway. I like big, muscular men with big heads, big hands, big arms, a big back, and big legs. They must have some form of facial hair. It doesn't have to be a huge beard, but I can't do clean-shaven faces. Story 21. Korean. Curly hair, Pretty eyes. My height or taller. Middle Eastern. Fit but not overly muscular. Medium or small breasts. Not too big but. Latinos. Nice lips, no thin lips. Feminine but not excessively feminine, women. Masculine but not excessively masculine, men. Story 22. Women are either chubby blondes, giving off farmer's daughter vibes, or tall, slim brunettes with long hair and well-defined eyebrows. For men, the preference is slightly overweight with a classically handsome face, possibly with facial hair or stylish glasses. I dislike big muscles and do not prefer a skinny appearance for either gender. Story 23. Dream guy? Tall, dark with thick curly hair, blue eyes or brown teddy bear eyes. Big, nerdy glasses like Spider-Man. Lightly muscled and trim with a sexy trail. Bonus points for being uncut and over 6 inches. How could I forget the sexy, mischievous smile? Story 24. I've always been into ultra-feminine, petite, pale girls with lots of lace, oversized chunky sweaters, sundresses, and dark eyeliner. It reminds me of Ali Sheedy's look from The Breakfast Club before the makeover. Story 25. I'm not too picky when it comes to women. I've always had a soft spot for them in just about every shape and size. Tall, short, thick or thin, sweet or sharp. I appreciate the whole bouquet. I just love women, and I've never turned down a good roll in the hay with the right person. Story 26. He has black hair, brown skin, and brown eyes, with a prominent nose that has a large bone structure. He is not very tall and is toned, similar to a soccer player build. Fortunately, my husband meets all these descriptions while also being an amazing person and partner. When I first saw him, I was immediately drawn to him, and he is also attracted to me. Story 27. I am attracted to men with broad shoulders, a nice tan, and a tall stature, but not excessively tall. In terms of facial features, I prefer someone with good teeth, a nice nose, and a decent hairline. Additionally, I find it appealing when men dress simply, such as in a plain white or gray t-shirt and shorts. Story 28. Brunettes with thick hair and brown or green eyes. I wonder if my children resemble me. While I'm not opposed to them looking different, I think that might be a subconscious reason. Story 29. I have a strong personality, but I don't like being controlled. I don't understand it either. I have been with my girlfriend for 4 years, and we have been friends for 15. We haven't completely figured it out yet. I truly love her, though. Story 30. Dark hair, brown eyes, and well-shaped eyebrows. Body size is not important, but body shape should be within a reasonable range. Story 31. My friends suggest that my type is thick and chocolate-toned. I say that I don't have a type. It's more complicated than that. Story 32. Built like an offensive lineman from the front but curvy from the side. Basically, broad shoulders and a thick lower body. Story 33. Unique style, curly or kinky hair is attractive, but not in a Eurocentric way ideally. Across the board, 270 pounds seems to be the weight limit for what I'm attracted to sexually. However, that doesn't mean I can't acknowledge when someone over 270 pounds is cute, handsome, or beautiful. Story 34. If we're being specific, she is a brunette, 5 feet 6 inches to 5 feet 8 inches tall, with olive skin and long, thick hair. Most importantly, she is curious and a relaxed person. Story 35. A pulse. On a serious note, someone with a great smile and a sense of humor. I don't mind being chubby, but being obese is not acceptable. Story 36. Someone similar to me regarding their weight, I guess. I wouldn't mind someone a bit stronger and more muscular, but nothing excessive. Just a regular, approachable-looking person. Story 37. Physically pale, bespectacled brunettes with larger busts. Personality is low-key, gentle, and nurturing. While physical appearance can attract me, it is the personality that truly matters. Story 38. Physically, I am male. However, I am much more of a personality and mannerism-oriented person. This makes it very hard to identify individuals in a crowd. Story 39. I find a pretty wide spectrum of body types attractive, from very thin to those with cellulite and curves. However, I have less tolerance for certain personalities. Social media addiction is a deal breaker, which eliminates a significant portion of the population. Being rude to service staff is unacceptable. Self-centeredness and an obsession with materialism also do not appeal to me. Many common traits in our society feel completely unappealing, which is making me lose hope. I dislike being judgmental and do not intend to demean anyone, such as implying that using social media indicates a lack of intelligence. However, I am not interested in taking countless photos every time we visit a place with photo opportunities just so you can seek validation through likes from people who don't truly matter to you. Story 40. Physical ADHD traits, such as repetitive movements, unusual speech patterns, or distinctive features that attract my attention. Story 41. I'm in love with female fighters. I just love a woman who can kick ass. I don't know why. It's appealing to me. Story 42. It varies. Generally, men who are 6 feet or taller, have no facial hair, have a somewhat feminine appearance, and possess blonde or red hair with blue or green eyes, tend to be skinny or fit. For non-binary individuals, the criteria are again no facial hair, a great smile, an attractive figure, and not being overweight. Hair and eye color are not important. For women, there is a much broader range. Literally, all heights, any body type from skinny to overweight, all hair colors, eye colors, and any ethnicity are included. When I complained to my housemate that I don't have a type, he corrected me by saying, "You claim to only like attractive people, but all of your long-term relationships and crushes, regardless of gender, are individuals who are unconventional, missing teeth, former substance users, and have stick-and-poke tattoos." Story 43. A big guy regardless of type. Tall, chubby, or muscular. I'm attracted to men with long hair and an alternative style as well. When they wear jewelry and paint their nails black, I find it incredibly appealing. Story 44. A fit woman with a slightly curvy figure. She has natural dark blonde hair and dark eyes, preferably as dark as possible. She has an attractive physique. Story 45. The stereotype of white people often includes traits like blonde hair and blue eyes. Personally, I am 1.90 meters tall and I prefer taller women. I once dated a woman who was 2.03 meters tall, and despite the curious questions and attention from others, I truly enjoyed being with someone taller than me. To my surprise, she mentioned that her height was usually a challenge in the dating scene because many men felt insecure. However, I can tell you, there's nothing like receiving a great hug and being embraced by someone with a larger presence. Story 46. Short, pale, nerdy, and artsy with long light brown hair and deep blue eyes. A tummy ring and a nice figure, with small breasts and perfect nipples. Cute nails and hands that I want to hold. Story 47. I'm a breast guy, so double D sizes are my preference. However, I'm also really attracted to girls who weigh around 100 pounds. It's a silly attraction. I'm young, and my hormones are all over the place. I like a girl I can pick up and toss around, despite my fragile ego. Story 48. Men should be strong and athletic, not necessarily super shredded or huge, just possessing a nice athletic appearance. They should have dark hair and a nice smile. Height is not a priority. Story 49. I don't have a specific type. Basic fitness, which I value in myself, is important in a female friend. Story 50. I used to insist that I don't have a type, but I've always been attracted to the same model of skinny girls, those with long legs, not very curvy figures, and very slim, delicate necks. I admire strong features that show maturity, pale skin, clear-colored eyes, and straight, flowing hair. I also find long fingers, both on hands and feet, appealing. I'm essentially describing my wife right now. Before her, these were the only girls who, one, captured my attention, and two, showed genuine interest in me. She is my opposite because I haven't weighed under 220 pounds since I was 14. I have a youthful, friendly face, and I fall right below the line of a typical security checkpoint. I attempted to date other girls, but I always subconsciously knew that if they didn't fit this type, we weren't truly dating, we were just friends. I wasn't taking it seriously and was mostly unconcerned with the outcome. Story 51. If we're considering overall style, I would say emo girls with nice flashy hair and darker clothing are appealing. Physically, I used to prefer women with larger breasts, but ever since I met my current girlfriend, my preferences have changed. I have fallen in love with her eyes, smile, and personality. Story 52. Natural, low-maintenance appearance, pleasant, genuine smile. She has curves in the right places and maintains a balanced approach to diet. Story 53. Actively pursuing my ideal type. Brunettes, provided they are not severely overweight. Recently, I've developed an interest in tall and muscular women. They don't have to possess both traits simultaneously. As for being pursued, it's not a factor as long as they meet my preferences on weight. Story 54. I have dated men who are between 5 feet 6 inches and 6 feet 7 inches tall, ranging from chubby to skinny. I don't have a specific physical type. I just want someone who can hike with me without struggling. Story 55. Mocha skin, slender waist, long hair past the shoulders. I would also be fine with a goth version of Lara Croft, similar to the character from Dread Out. Story 56. My wife. However, I never really had a specific type. I am open to different body types. Skinny, short, tall, or chubby. The closest I have to a preference is pale skin. Story 57. Natural. Smiles naturally. It doesn't seem like the looks and mannerisms are forced. I'm really not concerned about body type or anything else. Story 58. I don't think I've ever had a specific type. If you went through my exes, you might not see a clear pattern. However, I have always found really tall and muscular women attractive, not to be confused with overweight. Think of someone with a strong build, like Abby from The Last of Us Part 2. Despite this, I have never dated anyone who fits that description. While my preferences are not limited to appearance, in 2024, I took up rock climbing, and it soon became clear to me what my type is. Story 59. A woman who is genuinely built like an actual woman, not a size 2. A brunette with dark eyes, a smile, and someone who can be snuggled effortlessly. A nice set of cheeks is also appealing to me. Story 60. Men. Tall, dark, with blue or brown eyes, slim and lanky. Pale. Glasses are preferred, but it's not a deal breaker. Average build is also acceptable. No facial hair. The more awkward, the better. Piercings and tattoos are welcome. Women, red or dark hair. Pale. Body type is not a concern. I tend to like women who are a bit curvy. Mainly blue eyes are favored. Tattoos and piercings are appreciated. Hair length is not significant. Story 61. I have a theory that because I am 6 feet 5 inches tall, I see most people from a flattering perspective, making them appear more slender. Conversely, when people look up at me, it is not a flattering angle. It seems that any woman under 240 pounds would be attractive to me. Story 62. I'm bisexual with a wide range of body type interests, but I generally prefer individuals who take care of themselves and are confident in their presentation. My preference is for more petite and androgynous individuals regardless of gender. However, I've never experienced better chemistry with anyone than with my wife, who is strong enough to lift me and prefers to sew her own clothes. Story 63. Taller than me, I'm 5 feet 11 inches. With a swimmer/lumberjack physique and a bit of extra weight. I have a beard and longer hair, ideally chin length to shoulder length, preferably dark blonde or brown. My eyes are brown or gray-green. I have quality tattoos and do not have a perfectly symmetrical face. I also have a deep voice. That's my personal ideal. Story 64. I usually like men with dark hair, but I recently had a fling with a silver fox and was really into that. Story 65. An outdoorsy girl who is athletic but not overly so. She should be unafraid to get her hands dirty and willing to try snowboarding and rock climbing. The ideal person has a rugged yet feminine style. Story 66. Soft body types. I can't even think of a celebrity that has this physique. There are plenty of girls at the gym who fit this description. It's when you are neither overweight nor toned to the point of having visible muscles, yet your body remains soft. Story 67. Tall, lanky men with thick hair only on their heads. They have light hair on their chests, no hair on their backs, and medium hair on their legs. Hair is important. Story 68. Big, muscular gym enthusiasts. Not quite a competitive physique, but not just lean or athletic. They have dark hair, attractive brown or hazel eyes, and tattoos. Story 69. Human and with a roughly average number of eyes, teeth, and limbs, though exceptions are acceptable on a case-by-case basis. Also, not obese. I mean medically obese because I am not, and I enjoy physical hobbies and keep myself in decent shape. I have an unremarkable physique, and I'm open to anyone within a broad range of that. Since it is physical, no drug addictions. It's strange that I need to specify that, but I had an ex who hid a surprising amount of drug use from me during the 4 months we dated. Story 70. The only thing all my partners, past and present, have in common is that they are good-looking. There are no specific traits shared among them. Story 71. I want a girl with a short skirt and a long jacket. Listen to that song. That girl sounds attractive to me. Story 72. You know how in 2007 to 2009 some girls and women like to dress in emo, goth, or punk styles? I don't have a specific physical type. Dress like that and I will be whatever you want. Story 73. I'm not rigid with this. My ideal type based on attraction is a tall blonde guy, either a muscular or slim build, with blue eyes. I find a nerdy look appealing, and freckles and glasses are also attractive. I think dark-haired guys with green or blue eyes are appealing as well. Story 74. White women, specifically those with pale skin and no freckles, tend to prefer brunettes with brown or black hair, although they also have a love for blondes. They enjoy winter clothing, particularly sweaters and boots, and often have blue or green eyes. Story 75. A needy man is unappealing. Ignoring your partner is also off-putting because a man should pursue. While this may not directly answer your question, it is an important observation. Story 76. Good hygiene, long hair, nice makeup, and full figures are appealing. Yes, you heard me right. I appreciate individuals who are any size between chubby and overweight, but morbid obesity is excessive. I also find larger breasts attractive. It's usually not difficult to appreciate that in curvier women, but sometimes I encounter someone who is heavier but has a flat chest, and I find that disappointing. A nice round bottom is a pleasure to admire. If there are thick thighs without cankles, that's an added bonus, but I keep my expectations realistic. I tend to favor blonde hair and blue eyes. Fair skin is a plus, but I also appreciate a lovely darker-skinned woman. Story 77. I ideally prefer partners who are toned and athletic or muscular. However, I struggle to achieve that look because I am tall and thin, despite working out frequently. As a result, I don't attract much interest. My next preference is for larger women, as I find their strength appealing. They are typically the ones I end up with. Story 78. I really don't have a specific preference. I am attracted to all races, shades, eye colors, hair colors, and most body types and hairstyles. I tend to find most types of women appealing. However, I do have a particular fondness for women with big brown eyes. That said, I still appreciate a wide variety of attributes overall. Story 79. Preferences for women, preferably white, but Hispanic or Asian is acceptable. Objectively healthy, in shape, slim or lean. The opposite of the majority of Americans who are overweight or obese. Height between 4 feet 9 inches and 5 feet 10 inches. Weight between 100 pounds and 150 pounds. Traditionally feminine or a cute tomboy is fine. Although I understand some cannot help it, a decent tooth-to-gum ratio is preferred. No tattoos, please. Story 80. Being slim is crucial and enhances your appearance over time, both in body and face. I find blondes with dark eyes appealing. Regarding preferences, I would prefer small, firm breasts over larger ones. While I have had my share of experiences with larger breasts, women can still look very attractive with smaller breasts. Story 81. I like muscular men and curvy women. I just can't be with someone who is fit or thin. I prefer softness. Story 82. He is bearded, has a lot of body hair, follows a workout routine, but enjoys partying and indulging in food occasionally. He is not too thin, with some build to him and slightly taller than me. He has huge expressive eyes and a wonderful smile. Story 83. Appealing face, some limbs, genitals, and a secret double life that threatens to blow up at any moment, risking me and everyone I love. Story 84. Can accelerate from 0 to 70 in 10 seconds. Low profile with good angles. Maneuverable with excellent visibility. Can blend into the background. Decent firepower and built like a tank. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.